So Logan Paul has taken a break from oiling up and hugging men. Now instead, he's getting them suspended from their jobs. MrBeast has also finally responded to the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. He paid for an internal investigation and shock horror, he's innocent. The people he paid to investigate himself said he was sound. Crazy that. But there was an interesting proposed community note. And for KSI, well, I mean, he's still crying about Dan TDM. But today, I'm gonna yap about what Logan's been up to.
This is the best one yet. According to ex-users, various retail stores have recalled Lunchly products due to FDA's concerns. The sign in the tweet reads, due to public health concerns, the FDA has recalled Lunchly products. We will restock as soon as deemed fit for consumption and ship through our warehouses. But that's so weird because FDA recalls are public by law. And as you can see, Lunchly is not on the FDA recall list. So hold up, that means that this sign is fake.
Well done, Logan. Very well explained. Maybe just end the video there? He didn't do that. Instead, he got his 2 cents in. I guess he was annoyed, and to be fair, rightfully so. The sign was misinformation, and you could say bad for business. However, getting your response in, then pinpointing the exact store and calling out an employee, that, Mr. Paul, that's not cool. Some would say that is doxing. I mean, searching for someone's place of work, then exposing it to the internet, it's not a good look for you.
So who put that fake sign up? Turns out it was an employee named who said this when we confronted him, and I quote, "That was like kind of rumorized, I guess, through around here, but we had seen a posting about that, but I was the one who had written that, but since we got Lunchly back, it's been taken down." When it comes down to the actual, like, I guess, accountability of it, it was a rumor that was up in the air. Since we had heard that the FDA whole thing was kaput, we took it down. Yeah, it was more of like it wasn't like a... Anyway, hater or dumbass? I don't know.
Maybe I'll just post the guide to my followers. All 6.8 million of them. But not gonna lie, when I first saw this video, I didn't really look into it that much. I kind of assumed it was the typical big influencer thing. They respond to like one individual that they feel like they can wipe the floor with, then potentially take it further. All because they've got quite a few receipts for this like individual topic of discussion. And this makes them feel like if they use a load of jargon, they're gonna scare the guy off and make everyone think they're untouchable. Because if you are just scrolling through, it might just look like Logan is just responding to a guy spreading misinformation, because that's kind of the picture that he tried to paint. But Logan showed a picture of someone that he made enemy of the Low Gang, mocked the way he spoke, and tried to make him look stupid and probably a bit of a coward. Because it's not every day that you go to your normal job and you get one of Logan Paul's mates rock up and start firing a barrage of questions in your direction. All of this so you can expose where he works. Like, this is actually insane. This is really bad. Clearly, another lapse in his judgment. But once again, he got community notice. It seems like they're Logan's best friends right now. According to the employee in question, the sign was hung up during a current listeria outbreak. The employee and his manager assumed that Lunchly was recalled. The sign was removed when the store received stock and the employee took responsibility for the mistake. Now, if you know Logan Do It Different Maverick Paul, you'd know that he gets hooked on bait quite often. He's one great big fishy who can't help but nibble. Lol at community notes received. Yeah, he decided to correct spelling. I bet all 0 people in the replies love that one. For a grocer to assume a recall and act on behalf of a government organization is inexcusable. The employee in question is a liar. He lied to our brand rep on site and now he's lying to the internet. Listeria has nothing to do with it. I have receipts for everything and I can take this as far as y'all want. Employee in question. Keep that one in the back of your minds because we've got an interview with him later. But the select few people that are allowed to respond to Logan's tweets, because reminder, Logan does restrict his replies. God knows why. But they all thought Logan caught a body with this epic response. Not the first time he's caught one.
Hey, look, I know some people are driving up to 130 miles just to find Lunchly, but please be patient as we try to ramp up production to meet the demand.
Maybe stop it from going moldy first, Logan. But did you see the lady in that video that he called a goblin? That's Rosanna Panzino. Now, a lot of people have very split opinions on her. She's made a few videos about MrBeast, a fair few, but she actually responds to Logan, called him out for saying some dumb shit, calls him out for calling Lunchly produce. Throwing green on your drippy cheese does not count as produce, my friend. But she got on her channel the employee in question, named Casey, who wrote the sign about Lunchly being recalled. So let's have a look, shall we?
At the beginning of October, there was a listeria outbreak. Over the course of the beginning of October, there was numerous recalls issued for a bunch of different brands due to contaminated chicken. And I was the one that was put in charge of overseeing pulling the recalled items from the shelves and posting the signs. I had finished a bunch of different products on the aisles near the Lunchly section, and as I was passing by, I noticed that it was completely empty and that there was some "this item is temporarily out of stock" stickers. I was curious because I had noticed that had been out for a while, and I walked up to my boss and asked, should I post a sign, do you think? And he's like, well, it's going to take me a sec because I'm super busy. I'm going to have to look for the sign, but I do believe that it was on the recall list. So you can go ahead and do that. I will post, or I will find the actual recall notice and put it up, and if it's not been, I'll pull it down.
Just doing your job and following orders? Let me show your face and place of work to 6.8 million people. The guy in the interview literally just did what his boss told him to do. And I'd understand the anger directed in his direction if he made the sign then posted it himself on social media, but it wasn't. Someone just went in the store and saw it and found it funny. Casey said to us that he went from a normal day of work, just, you know, following orders from his boss so that he could provide for his family. Then all of a sudden, he had Drippy Cheese taking photos from his social media and plastering his face all over the internet. Which obviously, as the massive influencer that Logan Paul is, that's going to have a negative reaction on the poor guy on the receiving end. But I wonder how this affected the guy who was literally doing his job.
Then suddenly, out of the blue, I heard that somebody had taken a photo of this and posted it online. I found this out by a Lunchly's representative that came into my work at like 9 at night, asking me a bunch of really odd questions. And it was starting to get a little borderline harassing because I was in the back room and he followed me into the back room to ask me if I had known about numerous different people, specifically this other person named Casey, which I thought was strange because I was like, not all Caseys know each other. You know that, right?
Breaking news, I can see John Cena. But this is actually sad from the Lunchley bunch. If someone feels the need to go into the back room to get away from you, maybe take the hint. And surely this can be done over email. I get you want to go in and see if the sign's still there, but you don't have to follow people around. And the sign was a mistake. You can debate amongst yourself how big of a mistake it was, but it's no way near the mistakes that Logan has made in his career. And it makes me think that this is a technique from themselves. They're going to go after individuals to take the heat off themselves, which clearly hasn't worked. Only one person seems to think it went well. And to be fair, how will we ever see who agrees when 16.6% of replies are community notes?
Community notes? Where you at?
And one of the replies is you. 33% of direct replies are you and community notes. Mathematics. But speaking of numbers, Logan Paul tells us that they sold every single unit in that store.
But after that sign was posted, we continued to sell out all of the Lunchlys that hit the shelves in that store.
So why are you crying? Logan Paul, you have a whole child. One whole human being who you need to raise. Do you not think that she's a little bit more important to you than a guy who made a mistake at work? But the photos of Casey that he decided to share to his followers, well, Casey has a distinctive appearance. Tattoos, long hair, and a beard. If you went into that store, you'd recognize him if he was on shift. It's no wonder that your name begins with an L. But basically, he goes on to say that he told the Lunchley representative that the sign was taken down as soon as they realized their mistake. He said him and his manager, they both took accountability. Then spoke about the repercussions.
What were the repercussions that happened to you after the Lunchley rep left?
Out of the blue, this video just suddenly hits me. It had been seen by everybody at work, so everybody already knew what was up, and everybody was acting like somebody had died around me, which I was like, guys, it's just some jerk on the internet. Or rather, I had insisted talking to HR about it because I wanted to know if I was okay to work. They're like, look, we kind of have to suspend you just because we don't know what else to do. This has never happened in the entirety of the company's history.
Logan Paul got a man suspended from his job because of something called a turkey stack. Honestly, I'll never understand the mindset behind this video he posted. There's never an excuse to show the face of a man who your supporters will obviously mock, followed up with the location of where he spends most of his days. Like, genuinely, this suspension could have been to protect him, because you never know what people on the internet are capable of. And let's be honest, it's unlike the Lunchley boys to have any understanding of how their words will affect people. KSI once literally told people to go and berate someone that he had beef with. And Mr. Beast once allegedly got arrested for street racing. But yeah, let's tell everyone that we care about the kids. But one thing that stood out to me though, Casey said that he shaved off his beard to try not to be recognized. I genuinely think Logan Paul owes this man a public apology. To send someone to his place of work, then put him on blast all over the internet, that would be an extremely stressful thing to go through. And this could have all gone so much worse for him. And to be honest, it still might.
Are you being paid right now while you're on leave?
I'm not, no. I'm not being paid. Basically, they gave me suspension without pay, and it's pending investigation. If I do go back to work, if they allow me to come back to work, they'll determine how much time I should have been suspended for and then back pay. However, with there being a controversy at this Freddy's already, I don't know how well that whole thing is going to play out for me.
Imagine a world where someone's put under financial strain because of Lunchley. A turkey stackum and a bottle of Prime is the reason that you might have to save money. And this guy said at the beginning of his interview, he's a stepfather. He's got kids to provide for. And I really wonder with this trio, do they think this is a good look? Do they think that publicity's good for business? Or do they just not care? Because to save face, I'm sure they'll show all the numbers of everything sold. Actually, you never know what Logan's going to show. And can you trust him when it comes to numbers and money? But has anyone noticed yet another another generational meltdown and disaster class because of one tweet? I don't know, there are some similarities between Logang and Knowledge. They've both got dodgy morals when it comes to fake internet money that they want to flog to their fans. Maybe they're just two peas in a pod.
You do realize that people make mistakes, right? And that I'm not an idiot just because I made a mistake. Calling me a dumbass hit a little hard considering I'm autistic. You know, oftentimes I have trouble communicating myself, and that's just the thing, is if you come up to me in a confrontational manner, it disturbs my equilibrium.
Logan vlogged a hanging corpse. Mistakes don't get much bigger than that. But nice one, Logan and friend. You went to an autistic guy's place of work, got confrontational towards him, and then called him names on the internet. I hope you feel great about yourselves. But the bad thing is, though, the people that want to consume this product, they won't care about this. Young kids will not understand the damage that Logan's video has done to this guy's life. They just see something that their favorite creators are selling that they can eat and show off at school. So they're obviously still going to get their parents to buy it. So Logan's mate can go to someone's place of work and follow them around. Casey described it as borderline harassment, and he also said the other people in the store were uneased by Logan's mate. And let's be honest, none of this is going to affect the main consumer. I'm not accusing Lunchley of bullying people, but the employee basically said he was intimidated. But if we just take a step back for a minute, Logan literally confirms that no harm was done to sales in this particular store. So realistically, why has this happened? The sign was taken down and sales weren't affected. The people in the store took accountability for their error. Casey even said he would seek further training so that mistakes like this wouldn't happen again. If this isn't a good and proper response to a genuine human error, well, I don't know what is. It kind of just looked like Logan wanted to slap his internet cock on the table. But Casey said in this interview that no one reached out to him directly. Why are we in this situation? Has Logan ever learnt a lesson ever? Seriously, if the sales are that good, get yourself a PR team or get PR trained. Because you, sir, are in no way in a position to lecture anyone about right and wrong. You have a moral compass of a box jellyfish. That may sound weird, but just Google them. They are proper knobheads. But yeah, Rosanna did actually start a GoFundMe for Casey, but Casey himself said he wants to get the GoFundMe closed because, good news, he got his job back. He made a quick update video to say he's gone back to work, and his HR department said he never should have been suspended in the first place. Very cool. He's getting paid in full for all of the time that he had off, but apparently he's looking to use that money to represent himself legally, so I'll obviously be keeping an eye on this.
I thank you guys so much, and if you can just keep on it with giving us some advice on who to find in the state of Washington to help represent us, that would be the biggest help of all.
Also, I left a link down below to the full video so you can watch the full interview for yourself and form your own opinions. Like and subscribe, or Logan will visit your workplace.